Good evening, and welcome to another episode of It's Another Story. Now, bloody here in the evening. It's late at night, and I thought I'd jump on for a very quick story tonight involving Marky Ramone from the Ramones. And what you just saw was an autographed poster, basically, of Marky Ramone and the Intruders. Which was, of course, autographed back in 1997, because this story basically is going back to 1997. Yeah. To be specific, May the 15th at the Madison Theater in Peoria, Illinois. It was really cool because it was a special event. You know, the Ramones had broken up, and Marky Ramone had started a band called the Intruders that was around for a few years, maybe 1996 to 1999, something like that. They did a couple of albums. The music was real similar to the Ramones, except that the bass was more heavy, but the energy, it was still just totally up there and awesome, just like Les Ramones. So it was cool because they brought them to Peoria to the Madison Theater, and instead of having an opening act, they showed a movie, and the movie was Rock and Roll High School by the Ramones. So it was kind of a unique event in which you could watch a movie and then watch one of the favorite members from the movie performing live afterwards. Marky Ramone and the Intruders popped up, and there they were. Of course, there was a pretty decent crowd. It wasn't completely packed. It was medium, for the Madison Theater. Kind of a low turnout, but it was pretty cool because it was intimate, very intimate. Yeah, that's what I would say, intimate. The energy of the band was killer. The band was really good. Marky, of course, didn't miss a beat. The guy played very upbeat, kind of fast, really good. The band was fronted by Todd Youth, who is known for being in the band Murphy's Law and Warzone, and he played with Danzig. Also, Benny Balls, a.k.a. Ben Troken, was on rhythm guitar and some vocals. And, of course, on the bass was Johnny Pisano. And the poster that you saw was autographed by all members of the band. So it's up for grabs if somebody wants to make an offer on that. It's not in the best of shape, but hey, it is what it is, and I can send photos. So I want to tell you what happened. I pissed Marky Ramone off, but first let's talk about the good parts. The show was great, man. The set list was good. Marky Ramone comes from a long line of really famous rock bands. A lot of people don't know. He was called Mark Bell before Marky Ramone, and he was in the band called Dust back in the day. Then he was in, of course, Wayne County and the Backstreet Boys. Wayne County later became Jane County, the very first rocker to had an actual sex change operation. Also, Marky then joined the Ramones. Nope, sorry, back up. Then Marky was a member of Richard Hell and the Voidoids. And Richard Hell, of course, being considered one of the very first pioneers of punk rock. So this guy is just a legend already. Then he joins the Ramones, right? Gosh, later he's in the Misfits and everything else. So yeah, Marky, what a legend. I gotta say this, man, he's earned his stripes in rock and roll. That's for damn sure. So the story goes, they came out on stage, they rocked. The memorable songs for me were Blank Generation, which is a cover of Richard Hell and the Voidoids. They did a killer version of Blank Generation. Some people said it was better than Richard Hell's version. They also covered I Want to Be Sedated by the Ramones. They also did I Don't Care by the Ramones. And a few other songs they did that night include Probation, Telephone Love, Three Cheers for You, Can't Take It With You, Anxiety, Peak Hole, Oh No, Not Again, I Want My Beer, and a few more. It was very upbeat, like I say. It was cool having a movie, especially Rock and Roll High School, opening the show. I got to tell you, afterwards, I was kind of obsessed with the idea that I got to meet Marky. He's right there behind that door, right there, So I thought, what the hell? So I walked up to the door, and a security guy, the guy that was working, knew me, and he immediately just opened the backstage door. And I was like, well, that was the easiest I've ever gotten backstage anywhere. So, yeah, I expected him to say, where's your backstage pass or your laminate or your radio credentials? I wasn't in radio yet, So I was just a fan, as I am today, of rock and roll and the Ramones, of course. Here's where it gets good, folks. I go backstage. Marky is back there with a couple of guys in the band. They're getting changed, getting freshened up, powdering their noses. No, I'm only joking. Marky's back there, and he's he's got a sense of humor, of course, but he can also be a serious guy too. I've seen both sides over the years on video and documentaries. So I think he can be a moody fellow, and I don't blame him for what happened next. I walked up to Marky thinking I was doing him a rock and roll favor, and by bringing some marijuana, yeah, cannabis, I pulled some out and said, "Hey man, wanted to see if you needed any weed, or if you wanted to smoke some weed, or want some for the road." Wow, what happened next was something I did not expect. Marky went off on me big time. He called me every name in the book. "You mother effer, get the hell out of here. F you, how dare you?" And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? What's going on? I'm just trying to offer you weed. Most people are asking me for it when they come through town. Nope. Marky had been getting sober and been working the path of sobriety. I did not have any clue, man. Oh, so talk about feeling about this tall. To this day, I still feel this tall when I think about Marky Ramone because, well, he's in one of my favorite bands of all time, and I didn't want to piss the guy off. I really thought I'm doing him a favor by asking if he needs any smoke. So, Marky, if you ever see this, man, I'm still sorry. So I immediately apologized like 50 times in a row. I did. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. But he wasn't hearing it. He was pissed. So psychologically, the way I think of it now, and no offense, Marky, this might not be the case. This might be pure speculation. But I wonder if he was close to falling off the wagon. Why was he so freaking defensive even after I apologized over and over? I didn't know that the guy was getting sober. I never would have ever offered a person getting sober anything, let alone, a drug or a smoke or anything, or beer. So, Marky, sorry, man, but he was pissed. But the good thing is, though, is they were still cool enough to sign my poster, and that was awesome. Please, man, subscribe to my channel, give it a like, maybe leave a comment, because I comment back to everybody, and I'm going to start leaving more videos. I've got about 1,000 stories. I really, really do, man. And don't forget, Marky Ramone and the Intruders, man.